In the bustling city of Lagos, where the streets never slept and dreams floated in the air like dust, a young man named Chinedu Okafor lived with his widowed mother and younger sister. Chinedu, 23, was known in his neighborhood as a boy with a sharp mind and a heart full of ambition. His father, a civil servant, had died 5 years earlier, leaving behind little more than a pension that barely kept the family afloat. Chinedu's mother, Mama Ifeoma, sold vegetables by the roadside, and his younger sister Ifeoma still struggled in secondary school. Chinedu had bigger dreams than the life of hand-to-mouth survival he saw around him. He wanted to lift his family out of poverty, to buy his mother a house, and to give Ifeoma the education she deserved. But dreams in Lagos were expensive, and the road to success was long, hard, and full of temptations. One hot afternoon, while working as a salesboy at a phone accessories shop, Chinedu overheard a conversation between his boss and a flashy young man who drove a brand-new Mercedes-Benz. The man, called Victor, wore designer clothes, gold chains, and a wristwatch that glittered like the sun. His perfume filled the shop, making even passers-by turn their heads. "Bro, you day enjoy-o," Chinedu whispered to his friend Uche after Victor left. Uche, a boy from the same neighborhood, laughed. "Nah runs money. The guy they do fast deals. If you follow your life go change overnight." Chinedu frowned. He had always been taught by his mother that shortcuts led to destruction. But when he returned home that evening and saw his mother struggling to count change at her stall, her hands trembling with exhaustion, and his sister crying over unpaid school fees, a seed of doubt planted itself in his heart. Maybe, he thought, there is nothing wrong with taking a shortcut if it brings results. Victor noticed Chinedu's hunger for success and took him under his wing. He began inviting him to nightclubs, expensive dinners, and exclusive gatherings. Chinedu was dazzled. At one of these gatherings, Victor finally revealed the source of his wealth. Online fraud. "We know they carry gun," Victor said smoothly. "We know they kill anybody. We just use our brains. The white people get money. We collect them. Simple." Chinedu's heart raced. He knew it was wrong, but the allure of easy money was too strong. He thought of his mother's cracked hands, his sister's tears, his own unfulfilled dreams. "Count me in," he whispered. That night, he crossed a line he could never uncross. Money came quickly. In less than 2 months, Chinedu transformed from the humble salesboy to a young man who wore designer clothes, carried the latest iPhone, and sprayed bundles of cash at parties. He bought his mother a deep freezer, paid his sister's school fees, and even rented a bigger apartment for the family. For the first time in years, Mama Ifeoma smiled. "My son, God will bless you," she said, tears in her eyes. "I always knew you would make us proud." Chinedu nodded but looked away, guilt gnawing at him. He couldn't tell her the truth. One Sunday after church, Mama Ifeoma pulled Chinedu aside. "My son," she said gently, "money is good, but I hope you are walking the right path. The Bible says, 'The blessing of God makes rich and adds no sorrow.' Where is your blessing coming from?" Chinedu forced a smile. "Mama, don't worry. I'm doing clean work." But inside his chest tightened. That same week, Chinedu's childhood friend Uche, who had also joined Victor's gang, was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. His face was plastered on the evening news. Mama Ifeoma shook her head as they watched the TV. "See what greed can do to a man." Chinedu sat frozen, sweat running down his back. Chinedu ignored the warnings. He convinced himself he was smarter, that he wouldn't get caught. But one fateful evening, the EFCC stormed Victor's house during a party. Loud bangs, shouts, and the blinding flash of torchlights filled the air. Men in black uniforms kicked down doors, dragging young men out like rats from a hole. Chinedu tried to run, but before he could reach the gate, a heavy hand grabbed his collar. "Where do you think you're going?" That night, his face too was plastered on the evening news. Prison was nothing like the flashy life outside. The smell of sweat, urine, and despair choked Chinedu. Rats ran across the floor, and hardened criminals mocked him. He thought of his mother who would be weeping and of Ifeoma who would be ashamed at school. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Each night, Chinedu cried silently into his thin mattress. One day Mama Ifeoma visited him. Her eyes were swollen from crying, but her voice was firm. "My son, I warned you. Begged you. You wanted shortcuts, now see where it has led you. But listen, all hope is not lost. You can still rise, but you must change your ways." Her words pierced his heart. For the first time, Chinedu admitted to himself that he had destroyed his life with greed. After serving 2 years, Chinedu was released. By then, Victor had fled the country, and Uche remained in prison. Chinedu returned home a broken man, but his mother welcomed him with open arms. "My son, it is never too late to start again," she said. With her support, Chinedu enrolled in a vocational program where he learned phone repair and later opened a small shop. At first, business was slow, but gradually, through honesty and hard work, customers began to trust him. 5 years later, he was the owner of one of the biggest phone and gadget stores in Ikeja. His sister Ifeoma graduated from university, and his mother finally retired from petty trading. Though the scars of his past still haunted him, Chinedu was at peace. He often told his story at youth gatherings, warning young men and women about the dangers of shortcuts. One evening, at a community youth meeting, Chinedu stood before a group of restless young people. "I know what it feels like to be poor, to be desperate," he began. "I know what it feels like to want success at any cost. But let me tell you the truth. Shortcuts may look sweet at the beginning, but they always lead to sorrow. Do not envy those who flaunt sudden wealth. Many are walking paths that end in disgrace, prison, or even death. If you want true success, build it with patience, hard work, and integrity. That kind of wealth lasts." The hall was silent. Some of the youths had tears in their eyes. As Chinedu walked off the stage, his mother and sister clapped proudly from the front row. For the first time he felt truly rich. Not in money but in purpose. Shortcuts may glitter, but they always end in sorrow. Patience, integrity, and hard work may be slow, but they build lasting success. The younger generation must resist the lure of fast life and instead focus on steady, honest growth. Life is not a race. Every destiny has its own timing. What you build with lies and shortcuts will eventually crumble, but what you build with truth and patience will stand firm. The choices you make today will either bless or destroy your tomorrow. So choose wisely.
Kindly subscribe, like, and comment for more interesting stories.